Hey, this will be a video chart on ticker symbol JAMN. We'll take a look at the daily time frame. I would like to note to please check my disclaimer. Before I even get into the technical chart, though, I want to talk about some things going on with the company. This is Yahoo Finance. You can get this information from MarketWatch or Google Finance, any of those financial sites. But I want to point out two things. First is company released some news yesterday, which is this first bullet point here, talking about distribution and how they're making a lot of progress with that. And so much progress, in fact, that on Friday, which brings us to the second bullet point right there, they were featured on thestreet.com. Now, that's a very big financial website, and I don't know about you, but me personally, I can't remember the last time, if ever, I've seen a penny stock has a video at thestreet.com. So pretty impressive from that take alone. So I definitely encourage you to check out that video and just keep up to date on all the distribution that they've been getting, and they're pretty conservative in that regard. But when they do get distribution, that always seems to be reflected on the chart, which is what we're starting to see right now, which provides a perfect segue into the chart. So on the distribution and so forth, that's the overlying context, part of what's going on with the bigger picture. You can see that short term things are starting to look nice, heading back up in this basic channel that it's had, and lots of upside potential if a certain thing can happen. And we'll talk about that certain thing here in a little bit. But I first just want to talk about support levels. The first support level that's done a great job of holding is this level right here. And this is formed from the beginning of March, which is at 25 cents. If you've watched the previous videos I've done on this one, I've talked about this 25-cent level. And you can see that once again it is held strong. The price did technically close below it for a single day there, but it was great to see that the price immediately the next day basically snapped right back upwards to close above there. So yes, a technical break here, but the bulls came basically roaring back the next day, and the price closed well up above that 25-cent area. Here you can see another nice bounce off of it, and then on this wild day here, price did drop below it, but by the time the closing bell came around, closed all the way up at 29 cents. So 25 cents again, important level of support. And then we also have these two lines right here. This gray line here is the 20-day simple moving average. This blue line here is the 10-day. If you were to ask me what would be the ideal situation, the best case scenario for the chart in terms of supports, it would be to hold above these levels here based at 28 cents. But by no means does that suggest that if the price does drop below them that the chart's toast or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that ideally, and what would make the chart look the strongest, is if these two moving averages can hold. But again, 25 cents is that important level of support that again, I'm not going to say it's the must-hold level, but the must-hold level is way down here at 21 cents, and that's that yellow line there, which is the 200-day simple moving average. But given the price closed up at 30 cents, I'm not saying the price will go down there, but again, just to recap, ideal level of support holding would be the 28 cent, which is based on these moving averages. Another important level is 25 cents, and then you have the 21-cent level down there at the 200-day. Now for the fun stuff, let's talk about some resistances. Now at the beginning I talked about a certain thing needing to happen, and that certain thing has to do with this purple line here. This is the 50-day simple moving average, and you can see basically the past 2 days is what has been holding the price down. This level is valued at 31 cents. Yesterday's high was 0.309. Today's high was 31 cents. So you can see this 50-day simple moving average is acting as resistance. And this can be a pretty stubborn level of resistance, but the good news with that is the more stubborn level of resistance, the bigger follow through if the price can break through. And on that note, if the price can get above here, then the next level of resistance is not until way up here. Change that to red to represent resistance and give us a frame of reference here. But if we go back and look through the history of the chart, you can see multiple times there knock the price down again and again. And this level, we'll call it right up there at 37 cents, 37.38, whatever floats your boat. But that's going to be the next level. But looking at it from a percentage standpoint, from 31 cents up to 37.38, that's a pretty nice percentage gain. So nice potential there. And then after this area of resistance, the next level is not until way up here in the 40s, which is at 40 cents, and that's based from this high back there on February 6th. So change that to red too. So point being, bottom line, break of this 50-day simple moving average and there's lots of potential in the chart for upside movement. Keep an eye on this volume. The bigger the volume gets, the more confidence you can put in any sort of breakout. But given the past history of the chart, meaning the moves that have occurred, there's one move, pull back, another move, pull back, another move. Then we've had this pullback, so this is looking like, and hopefully the beginning of another big upwards move like it's had back in the past history of the chart. So if there are any other questions though on the technical chart, please let me know. If not, make sure you go and watch that video at the street. I'll put a link to that in the post, and check that out, and also check out their news release. Let me know if you have any questions, and have a good one.